Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader, and we have Jay here, and we need to finish talking to her, so we're going to go through some more of her dialogues.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you The dark side is the real Koronus Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Shireen?
Okay, so let's just continue going through all of her dialogue. How do they do things on Footfall?
Dynasty heirs drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica, and dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
Okay, tell me about the Casbalica mission.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Cultists sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm. Cross their path, and you risk making enemies all over the Koronus Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum. Every third person on Footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Casbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Casbalica is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case...
Jay sighs and throws up her hands. Persuasion test succeeded. Scum, rotten filth, rats. It is almost as if Jay's mask briefly slipped, and she started using words that have no place in the vocabulary of someone from the upper strata of the Imperium. Okay? Are you one of the Casbalica's robber barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Casbalica.
So, how did you become a Casbalican agent?
It's not hard to do on Footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs, and then took over his business. Having a good head on your shoulders and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people, and it only took a few successful contracts for the Casbalica to take notice. I quickly settled on Footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
And tell me about the cult trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Casbalica runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures. Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Casbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Koronus Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman. Why not? The decision is yours, Shireen.
Tell me about your business in the Koronus Expanse.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people, having the right connections, and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum of the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how they charge for any particular curio at the Footfall market. Not even the most cunning Argy will deceive you as long as I am with you, Shireen. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too, if your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
You have many talents.
Thank you, Shireen. Being able to read and write is chief among them. You may not be aware, but this science is beyond the abilities of billions of the Imperium subjects. And yet they happily keep drudging along in their factories, fundi, and assembly lines. Me? I didn't escape Ifrit to consign myself to such misery. It was literacy that paved my path to copied orders, forged signatures, counterfeited papers. The wonderful things that make the wheels of bureaucracy turn in the right direction.
So are you really that rich then?
Compared to the rabble on footfall, perhaps. Compared to you,
Not so much.
be it power or money, I still have a long way to go. I could purchase one of Footfall's asteroids, but not a planet. I could subjugate a few gangs from the shady districts, but not Vladium. And so the answer to your question is no. I do not consider myself rich. I am not rich enough.
Always room for more, huh, girl? Do you do business with the enemies of humanity? We already know the answer to this, but let's see what she has to say.
It has been known to happen. After years of dealing with Xenos, I've learned their customs, and even got a grasp of their language. Except they cringe whenever I start speaking. Arrogant sods. They dislike even our voices, but they never turn away our valuables. Then again, I'm used to seeing sour faces. In this trade, the easily offended go out of business.
The things we do for profit and gain, right?
Emperor be praised. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Let's see. You could be sitting back reaping the fruits of your own work, so why have you chosen to embrace the vicissitudes of life aboard a void ship? Yeah, that's totally true. I mean, she's already said that basically her enterprise basically runs itself when she's not around, so she doesn't have to be here.
You're fun to talk.
But she always wants
I
more.
grew tired of scribing endless contracts and agreements neatly tucked away on Footfall. Well, I did that for how many years? But here, among the stars, you are always balanced on a knife edge. Nothing thrills me more than the tension of a warp jump, or the danger that lurks around every corner on a planet. Footfall was beginning to make me fat and stupid, Shireen. I do not want that.
Awareness succeeded. Jay speaks measuredly, with just the right amount of laziness in her voice, but her performance cannot conceal the slight tremble in her voice. Whatever Jay is afraid of, that is what drove her off Footfall. I am intrigued. Okay, what about your gang that stayed back at Footfall? Do you trust them?
Do I trust the Trickster twins? By the Exalted One, no. The underhanded rogues of Footfall came up with that name for a reason. The tricks of those frenzied ashmags are all about things far more intriguing than the honest and law-abiding subjects of the Imperium can imagine.
Okay. The mention of her fellow cult traders makes Jay's eyes shine a bit brighter than usual. Are the Trickster twins the two that, came with her to that fight?
On the other hand, this is why I am keeping them close.
Kor and Tora.
Kor and Tora know who lifted them out of the cesspit proudly called the Shadow Quarters, and who has been feeding that ravenous beast their insatiable lust for lucre. No, they are not going to betray me if only because they know I am now a part of your entourage, Shireen. They're not going to let the biggest pie in the Imperium pass them by without trying to get a slice for themselves.
Okay, tell me about the Xenos.
Vicious, cruel, dangerous beasts. Humans hold little interest for Xenos. We are entertainment for them, a means to keep boredom at bay, a commodity. But some of them contact us once in a while using their own people. Do not deceive yourself by thinking you are safe because there are no Xenos in sight. Those Agi are as cunning as they are ruthless. They cleverly pull at the strings of spies and traitors, subjugate those who do not fall for the promised reward, transform the ones who resist their promises into soulless puppets. The Emperor watches over me, and that is why I still haven't succumbed to the fate of many of my associates who have lost their lives to the stringy scoundrels.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
Did you know Theodora von Valancius, my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. but we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic commoner, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes that puts you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
Okay, this one seems like it could start a relationship, but I've seen in a non-spoilery fashion that, like, you can start down some of these paths and eventually you'll have to make a choice. We would not be doing J, but I'm gonna click this under the assumption that this doesn't immediately start a relationship. Although I say that, and the fact that I barely flirted with Cassia started a relationship with her, so we might have to just turn J down here in a minute, but I'm just gonna, I want to hear what she has to say to this question. You must forgive my prying, but has the esteemed princess's heart been claimed by some lucky fellow?
Or lucky lady, you mean? My heart has been coveted by proud men with hard eyes.
Hey, she's bi.
Gentle maidens with sensual voices. Imperious lords and fierce leaders of void brigands. Only rogue traders have not yet featured among Jai Hedari's intimate friends.
She gives
Why do you ask, Shireen?
an enigmatic smile. Okay, let's see. Who must I kill to get rid of my rivals? Serving as my nightly delight? Wow. Just curious, I like to know every last detail about the members of my entourage.
Oh, Shireen. Then what reason do I have to tell you the truth? Every mystery once solved ceases to excite the interest of an inquiring mind.
Why are you avoiding answering, Mistress Hedari?
You are prying at the treasures of my soul, my little secrets. How else can I keep them safe from such a powerful robber as the rogue trader? I dare not refuse you.
Bestowing a dazzling smile upon you, Jade demurs with fluttering, nunnish abashment, with hints of her genuine amusement breaking through only rarely. It does not matter. Forget it.
How strange. But I dare not disobey, Shireen. If you command me to forget, the winds of oblivion will carry the memories you scorn from my mind.
Okay, so you keep using words I don't understand, like calling me Shireen.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Koronus Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly commoners our base passions and desires. Take Agi, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Agi means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration.
Oh, cool.
Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are.
Okay. Get off my ship. After all of that, get off. You're telling me tales about your colorful past, Jay, but I feel not all of these stories are true.
Listen, Shireen, the giver of happiness and the dearest of my friends. I am who I am, a cold trader, a Casbalican agent, and your partner. We each have a past, and that past is sealed. I'm not prying into your soul, am I? Well, have pity on mine. It has already been gnawed at by the Agi. And if you don't like the sound of that, we'll just go our separate ways. Deal?
Hey, it's all good, Jay. It's all good.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
I will help you acquire a merchant certificate.
Oh, Shireen, thank you for such generosity. I will humbly wait until you steer your vessel towards Dargonus. The Mercatum Tabula Officiale. It sounds almost as majestic as the warrant of trade. Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Okay. Alright, there might be new dialogue with Heinrix. Looks like there's nothing with Pascal. Some of our people we can't talk to right now. We weren't able to talk to Abelard. Can't talk to Pascal.
Of course.
Heinrix is somewhere over here. There's Danrock. There's Heinrix. Okay, can't talk to him right now.
To what do I owe this visit?
Never mind, we totally can. The icon just didn't show up. You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Fair enough. Darn, that means this is going to be unvoiced, huh? Heinrix nods slightly. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. Okay? I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its enquiries, Van Kallax. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business, then. The cult of the Final Dawn, the madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Koronus Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne of humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. A chaos cult in my protectorate. Heinrix, are you laying an accusation against my dynasty? Chaos treads softly, analog vernacular. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. Heinrix regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. It is indeed so. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself. And then perhaps you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. Okay. Lore Imperium, why would Ordo Xenos agents investigate a chaos cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, analog vernacular. Yes, initially our arrival in the Koronus Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. But there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday. But right now I ask you to display humility and patience. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show lenience towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. He nods. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised the Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. So you have spies on the Von Valancius worlds? The person I mentioned is not a spy but a secretary in the administrative department on Dargonus. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Koronus Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Dargonus, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words, at least occasionally. Alright, tell me more about the cult of the Final Dawn. Chaos worshippers? Most often agents of the throne run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble, insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune-tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Koronus Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people of the Imperial worlds. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the two ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty is making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but it is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. Heinrix sighs. After the events on Owlcat Minoris, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicated it's your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to their secrets. Okay, well, I have already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank. The answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Koronus Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. Okay? We met a Chaos Space Marine on Owlcat Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later. Vernacular, Chaos Marine siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines of the Koronus Expanse and not an entire company. So Chaos Space Marines are like a whole faction, I guess? Or sub-faction? Okay. Why did your suspicion fall on Kiava? Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived on Footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Okay. That is enough discussion about the archenemy servants. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rykad's son. Heinrix winces. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Yeah, that sounds really, really dark. Okay. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of standard Imperium auger arrays. Their objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway. A different dimension which conceals their greatest stronghold. Camera, the dark city of the Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape. Okay. The webway is an extra-dimensional space, also known as the Labyrinth Dimension. It links worlds, sectors, and stars from one end of the galaxy to another. So we have to use the warp, but they use a webway? Heinrix studies your expression. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykad's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs. Or perhaps Aurora's divinations in fact describe the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my worlds, be they servants of chaos, Xenos, or heretics. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of Imperial worlds in his hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. Okay? I have business. Is there anything else? Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valancius worlds while their master was away. And that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws of the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Heinrix inclines his head. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. Okay. Okay, so if we sort by type... Okay. We can probably install those, so we'll keep those in our inventory. Alright, we've got quite a bit of gear at this point. Okay, those are all consumables. Okay. We'll have to figure out which weapons we want to keep and which we want to send away, but for now I suppose we'll keep all that with us. Okay, nothing new at the Vox. Ravor. Okay, Argenta. Okay, can't talk to most of our companions right now. Okay, so at this point I may want to find out if Argenta's companion quest is bugged or not. Is it this one? No, that's Heinrix. Astray. Okay, so I need to find out if this is bugged, because I killed the people who I think they were looking for. We found the heretic's den, supposedly, but maybe there's more stuff in the quarantined area, and so like this won't be able to be completed until later in the game, maybe? I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving something behind that I will miss out on if I go to my worlds right now. Okay, from an initial glance, it looks like there might be more that we can do, so we're gonna go back in and take a look. Oh, okay. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Mobile extractium ×3. Thanks. Okay, into the Shadow Quarter. Is that the team I want? I think for now it is. Okay, so there must have been some place that we missed. I think that other location that we found may have been related to it, I'm not sure, but I think there's another area that we need to go and find. Can I go outside? What? Why won't it let me go to that map? Why does it always take me here? Go to the Shadow Quarters. Like, where do you think I want to go? I selected the Shadow Quarters! Can somebody explain that to me? Then when I choose the atrium for whatever reason, it takes me to the palace. Like, I feel like there should be like a sub-menu for the two maps in each of these locations or something. Okay. Let us out this time. Alright, so... apparently these point in a direction to try and lead us there? Maybe?
Let us not dawdle.
There's more over here, right? Okay, so it points that direction.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Let us see what
Then
I
this one here
found.
points in two directions. It's kind of just this way. Okay, that one points that direction. And that points... oh! Points right here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. My paranoia pays off. Figured there had to be more, but it was just like one of those questions of like, will it just be something we can do later or what? Okay. Let's F10 this.
Pay attention.
Oh dear.
I'm restless.
Okay. Where there's one, there's often many. So
This
let's.
ocular implant was a worthwhile
okay.
investment.
Indeed.
Join me in prayer. I better myself through my service.
Oh, that's a door. Oh shit, we're in it now. Open the door for us, guide our way, twist our way, we beseech thee, our Lord. The edge of daybreak, the edge of daybreak. Oh good, they're calling in chaos beasts.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Spare none of them!
Oh, just get them all. Just get them all. All right. Okay, you have a lot of health, don't you? That barely touched 315. Yes, you do. Okay. Oh, really? Too far?
It's as good as done. On it.
Okay, so that guy's marked now. Take aim to you if I can reach.
If I may.
Cleanses the body.
Okay, not bad. Oh, what can you do, dude?
You don't frighten me.
That was so much to Pascal. Oh, that was brutal.
Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, here's the thing. If I can kill this guy, you'll get another turn.
Strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Yeah, let's endure.
High momentum.
Okay, 50 ain't great.
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally.
Okay, did that immobilize him? No, okay. You probably have pretty good willpower, right? Decent. So I think you got that save. Yep, succeeded. A pink horror. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh well, I guess he gets that. What's a guy to do, huh? Okay. Okay, so it looks like your back is your target. Okay. Aim for the opening, chooses an enemy in their line of sight, marks an additional opening on this enemy on whichever side is closest to the assassin. If this additional opening isn't hit by the end of the assassin's turn, it disappears. Okay, but we can get to the other opening, so we don't need that. Do we get this once per... No, we can use it every turn? Okay, interesting. 0 AP. Okay.
Everyone, step aside.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I should do this too. And this one inflicts bleeding.
I won't object. The Inquisition sends their regards.
Little bit of healing there.
Naturally, nothing stands against me. Holy terror, smite your enemies!
My vow is to serve. Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
Oh. Whoops. Should have been paying attention to AP. Yep, that's my bad.
Me. If you insist. If only that were possible.
Let's see to it.
Oh, and you still get to use Death Whisper.
I won't object to it.
Okay, that's fine.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? These ruby flashes are choking me.
Okay, some decent damage there.
I'll do it.
At your beck and call.
High momentum.
You should feel honored to witness this.
Okay, what does this do again? +2 resolve. Okay, that's one that's gonna be better when we should remember to use that more at the beginning of our fights.
For the throne's glory. I won't object to it.
Low momentum.
Okay, big guy. It brought in a blue horror, I guess? What the?
But of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it.
I didn't even see that second little one there. He kind of blended in with the blue of the background. Okay, so let's give you another go. And you're going to use this, hit both. Yep, then you get that.
Smite your enemies.
And that.
It's as good as done.
Let's see, who's going next? Let's give
On
you
it.
take aim.
Get me a target. I won't do that.
Does that only work with melee then? I can't do it with a gun? Guess not. But let's see if we can make that shot.
Not sanctioned to do this.
Running binary override. Request approved.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay,
This
run
is
and gun.
unacceptable.
Oh, never mind. I didn't have a running gun. Might get the kill with that. Boom! Argenta rushes to the last living cultist and silently, furiously punches him in the face. You blaspheming heretic. Who are you praying to? I know those words. That call to a look. Argenta doesn't get to finish. The cultist, having dropped to his knees, interrupts her with grating, rasping laughter. Of course you know them. I recognize you too, lackey to the corpse on the throne. Haven't you already experienced the power of the true God? Didn't you flee from us shedding tears? Argenta recoils as if from a blow, but then steps forward, grabs the cultist by the scruff of his neck, and makes him look into her eyes, burning like embers. I am one of the Adepta Sororitas, and I have never, not once in my life, fled from heretics and betrayers of humankind. Argenta? Wait, the heretic must be interrogated. What do you want to know, servants of the corpse, Emperor? The names of my brethren, how many of us there are, where we are, I will tell you myself. We are myriad, and we are everywhere. Soon, very soon, you will hear our voices, and when you hear them at your back, so close you can feel our breath, then you will know the power of the true God. Just how many of you vermin are there? First Reich had Minoris, now here? Pascal pulls a number of instruments out of his robe. You would bet your life that the purpose of these items isn't to disassemble machines. He says casually, should you encounter difficulties during the information extraction process, I would recommend precise targeting of ganglia. The cultist chuckles arrogantly, but pales under Pascal's calmly probing gaze. How do you know Argenta? Have you seen her on footfall before? Not on footfall, the cultist laughs hoarsely. In another place. She flew right in like a bird into a snare. Argenta is staring at the cultist, her eyes wide, as if against her will she whispers two words. Salus Prime. Argenta, what is he talking about? She snaps out of it, as if emerging from a reverie. A planet. A plate. It doesn't matter. I know these heretics. I fought them and was gravely wounded, but I swear I never turned from them and ran. She turns to the cultist, her eyes filled with cold fury. If you truly have seen me on Salus Prime, someone among you must know a way to get there. Do you have your own ship? A navigator? Answer me. Ships and maps, roads and doors, we have them all, but our paths are not for you. The true god spins his web, and you are but a fly caught in it. But where is the spider? The cultist's eyes fill with madness. Who or what is this true god that you keep mentioning? You will know in time, the cultist gives you a wicked smile painted with fresh blood on his lips. I need something more coherent. Rogue trader, we won't get anything from this madman. As for my part in the story, I will tell it, but not here. Not in his presence. Okay? Argenta? End him. You can kill me, servants of the corpse, Emperor, but you can't stop the victory of the true god. The edge of daybreak is nigh, and the hour of his triumph approaches. Silence hangs for a minute, then Argenta turns to you and shrugs nonchalantly. Well, that's it. We fulfilled Reverend Hieronymus's request, which means I am now free. I can continue my travels with you, rogue trader. Before we leave this den, let us round up what remains of the blasphemers. I would like to cleanse this place with purifying flame, but perhaps we can find clues that might tell us where these heretics came from, or if they have any more associates. Argenta lowers her head warily. We need to talk, but it can wait. Let's meet on the ship when it's time to depart, Footfall. Okay. What a fight. Okay, is all this stuff gonna be... No, it's not all completely heretical. Is that any better than what I've got? Supposedly it'll have better dodge. Is that actually true? We'll check it. Okay, another plasma weapon. Nobody but Pascal can use it, and he's already got it, so... I don't think we need stub carbines. 12 to 18. 12 to 18. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay, is there any information we can get from this place? Okay, you should have one of these on. And honestly, let's put one of those in too. Do we really only have one, though? I guess we only have one. I don't want to use that yet. We'll try and hold on to it longer.
Litany of reconnaissance recited.
Is there money to be made?
The wearer raises momentum to 175 whenever they kill 5 enemies in a row in one turn. I mean, with the right build, yeah, for sure.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay, so we found 2 dens. One was with the Anvers, this one was for cultists. There really wasn't any extra information
Always
in
keep
here.
your eye on the prize.
Okay. Alright, I don't know if we need to go and talk to Hieronymus, but we're going to go and talk to Hieronymus. And it sounds like we just need to go and talk to Argenta on the ship.
I always have a backup plan.
An extermination brigade sergeant. The man stops and salutes you with his flamer. Your lordship, what an honor. The whole of Footfall is talking about the new head of House Valancius. Foreman of Footfall Utility Crew 3 at your service. What are you doing? Just burning rats. And some trash, and some parasites of other sorts. The district's under quarantine, you see. I got hit by something nasty, a disease. Or maybe it isn't a disease, just some bugs and worms that crawled up from some ship or other. It is a bit odd that it happened here and not at the docks, I'll grant you. Things like that usually start there. They even spray the place with some gunk to kill all the bugs and worms, but I guess something slipped through. 2 families in that block way over there snuffed it, and the liege wasted no time getting the district surrounded so that nobody could leave. So you don't know exactly what happened? Disease, bugs, or something else? 1,000 apologies, your lordship, but no, we don't, and we'd rather not find out. Who in their right minds would want to get closer to whatever it is? We've contained the foulness, and that's good enough if you ask me. How exactly did the victims die? Who knows? They found them in their hovels already dead, blue sores on their bodies, and they stank something awful, which is why the lot that found them didn't even risk looting the corpses. Good on them, I guess. Doesn't mean we let them out, of course. What measures been taken? Well, you're looking at them. We stand here, burn the foulness, and we've got people standing guard so that no one escapes. Put some mines down, a whole load of them. For the same reasons. The water, the sewers, all blocked off to stop any communications getting out. Air's open, I suppose, but the foulness doesn't seem to be airborne. Haven't been any strange deaths outside the district. Okay, are the people trapped in the quarantine zone being provided with aid of any kind? Of course not. I mean, I heard Reverend Hieronymus has been praying for their souls, which sounded more like retribution fell upon them, and rightly so. That's the most they can hope for. I wish to enter the quarantine zone. Your lordship have mercy, I can't say no to you, but the danger is just as real as to you as it is to the whole station. We'll clear a way for you, but it'll take time. A lot of time. It won't be easy to break down the barricades and disarm the mines. He gives you a long look, likely hoping that you will reconsider. But after receiving no reaction, he gives the order to his assistants. Complete a development project of the highest on any something?
Rise to the top or
Okay,
get left
so
in the
they're
dust.
basically saying you're gonna have to wait still. Your lordship, please don't be angry, but we haven't cleared a passage for you yet. Soon, though. Not that many mines left. Okay. So yeah, we will have to do this some other time. Oh, they weren't kidding. Look at all those mines. Holy shit. I didn't know that's what those were.
Is there money to be made?
I thought it was just part of the ground. Oh dear. Oh yeah, we needed to go and talk to Hieronymus. You know, the load times aren't incredibly fast in this game, despite playing this on a really fast SSD. They're not terrible. They're just longer than I expect.
I always keep my options open.
And we have to go through another loading screen, because of course we do. I don't get it. Why don't we get to choose whether we go to the palace or the regular place? I really don't get it. Oh, what's this? What's wrong with you people? You don't even care, do you? You want to grow fat on the Legion's stores while the station starves? Shut up, and one more time for clarity, shut up. All is calm on footfall. Mostly.
Let us not dawdle.
That didn't seem very calm. I suspect we're just gonna see things get worse and worse. I'm assuming we'll be able to come back here at different points in the game. Maybe. I mean, we'll have to come back at least one other time after that quarantine opens, so... And I'm sure it'll just get worse. The Emperor protects. Your request has been fulfilled. The cultist den in the shadow quarters has been cleared out. A grim smile brightens his features, and he makes the sign of Aquila. I hope that their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. Okay, Drusians, another 200 reputation and some experience. The Emperor protects. Okay. Now I believe we can go. Okay, don't really know what to do to help with that yet. Can't do this one yet. That will be on our worlds. You must wait for the station crew to remove the barriers and deactivate the mines. Okay. Talk to Sister Argenta.
I always have a backup plan.
We have goals. I think we get to leave the system here pretty soon. We may also... Okay, can I choose... Oh, there is a separate thing for the Liege's resident. That's so... Okay. I just need to do it from here, I think. How come the atrium isn't just a... The atrium isn't even an option. That's really strange. So Martyr's Endurance, Shadow Quarter. So that one does have two separate ones as well. I see. Okay. I thought this was one. So they are separate. Why isn't this one, though? Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, from here on out, we'll just go through the list. My problem is that I wasn't looking at the list, so... I was assuming the big, like, highlights was going to one place where it wasn't, but... Just one of those things. Okay, I think this is where we're going to end this episode. In the next one, we will start by talking to Argenta, and then probably going out into the star system a little bit. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Turkeyfoot 27, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.